welcome back. We are once again here with Max, and today we are looking at intelligence. And oh boy, this one's a doozy. I think we might actually have a challenger for strength for the highest possible stat. Because take a look at this. I'm already at a 51, and we haven't even started yet. This is because there is a device in Nuka World that the hubologists have, that if you complete their quest line, they will do something called Zeta alignments or something like that. It's some weird cult stuff. But every time you do it, it gives you an increasing bonus to intelligence. There are 8 stages, and each one gives you +1, +2, +3, +4, all the way up to +8. What I did not know, now to be fair, it's wildly expensive. The 7th one is 5,000 caps, and the 8th one is 10,000 caps. So this is not cheap. But what I didn't know is that if you do all of them at once, I only just discovered this now as I was doing a test to see how it works, they stack. So I have 1 +2 +3 +4 +5 +6 +7 +8, which is 36. It's +36 intelligence just from that chair. I also have a +1 from the Overseer's desk in Vault 88, but the one that gives you a bonus can only be built in Vault 88. You can build other desks that look like the Overseer's desk in other locations, but it doesn't have the chair and the computer, so it's not an actual Overseer's desk, so you don't get the bonus from it. You can only get the bonus in Vault 88. So that's another +1 from that. +1 from the bobblehead, so that puts me at 12. And then 46, and then what else do I have going on? Oh, right, because it's nighttime. Let's talk about perks real quick. So we do have a perk here that gives us +3 to intelligence. We have it already because of perception, but it also gives us +3 to intelligence, which is why we're doing this at night right now. So that's 3 +1 from the desk, and 1 from the bobblehead is 5. So that puts us at 15, because we started with a 10, and then 36 on top of that. That puts us up to 51. Now, let's talk about gear. So this is the most basic intelligence maxed outfit, right? So you have pretty much any lab coat, anything that has the word lab coat. Most of the lab coats, the Institute lab coats, give you +2 to intelligence. I just go with the Vault Tech one because it's the easiest one to get. If you're lucky, you can actually get one randomly spawned inside Vault 111 before you even leave. So you can walk out of Vault 111 with one of these already in your inventory. Liam's glasses is a unique pair of glasses. It gives you +2 to intelligence. I know it says +1 charisma, but it's actually a -1 to charisma. And then, of course, there's the captain's hat, which you get from Far Harbor, which gives you +2. It also increases your movement speed by 10%. It's one of only 2 hats in the games that do that. So this is actually one of the better hats in the game. The other one being Oswald's top hat, but that gives you a +1 to intelligence and I believe a +1 to charisma. But this is not what we're going to be using. No, we're going to be using this. Unyielding with the Inquisitor's cowl. And the fancy suit and tie, which you also get from Nuka World, is the only outfit in the game that gives you at least 1 to intelligence and can be worn with armor on top of it. There's nothing else in the game that gives even a +1 to intelligence that you can wear with armor. So let's go ahead and equip all this. And then let's go ahead and knock down our hit points. So now we are at a 71. The Inquisitor's cowl gives us increasing intelligence with increasing rads. So this should be giving us, you've got a 67, equip it, and it gives us a 71. So that's a +4. So we got a +4 here, and then +3 to all of these. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 4 is 19, and 20 from equipment. So we're at a 20, or 71 now, right? Now, consumable, because we have all this other stuff, this might be the smallest list of consumables I've seen. And we're not even counting Excel because Excel is on every stats list. We have two. We have Daddy-O and Berry Mentats. Regular Mentats does give a +2, but it doesn't stack with the Berry. So we're just going to do the Berry Mentats. I haven't done the math on this. I think. Look at that. An 81. That's 5 plus 3 plus 2. So that's 10. And then, oh, we're close. We're close. And you'd be asking yourself, well, if I only get this once, what's the most efficient way to use it? And that is quite simple. Copper statues. All right, so this is one of a couple of different statues. Generally, because of the amount of copper used, I recommend doing either this one or this one. Everything you build in a settlement gives you a certain amount of XP, but because we have an 81 intelligence, 75 XP on every one. So if we do this, you see how quickly I'm climbing. Look how fast my XP is going up. This is insane. And I'm level set. Look at that. I just made level 71. Now, these statues are not going to be available right away at character creation. You actually have to go to the Saugus Ironworks and get the Picket Fences magazine, which is located in the blast furnace room way up at the top. So you do have to beat the boss out there, but he's not tough to beat. I don't remember what his name is, but he's got power armor on. But he's a pretty easy kill. Shouldn't be any problem. But yeah, I mean, this is, because it's a one-time thing, honestly the easiest way to really get the most out of it while you have it is to build up a huge stockpile of copper ahead of time and just build statues. It's an easy way to hyper power level your character. All right, now let's take a look at a more attainable intelligence. So we start with the base 10, 1 from the bobblehead, 1 from the settlement object, and 3 from night person. So we're already at a 15. Not bad. Throw another 5 on top of that for Berry Mentats. I'm going to keep that around because we can make that. Whereas with the Daddy-O and the Excel, you cannot make them. There's only a couple places where you can find them. They're finite. So I'm not going to use those. We're just going to use the Berry Mentats. And then we're going to use this setup right here. We are going to go with the fancy suit and tie still because it is the only one that gives it intelligence and lets us wear armor. I just put the bandana on here for looks. Liam's glasses. It's a late game acquisition, but you can get it. And then, of course, the captain's hat, like I said, for your money. Not only does it let you run faster, it gives you +2 to intelligence. It's a nice item in general. And then we're going to go sharp for all the armor. That gives you bonuses to intelligence and charisma. So let's go ahead and equip all this stuff real quick. So that puts us at a 25. With the Berry Mentats is at a 30, which you don't really need for the thing that I'm going to talk about next. Hacking computers. Now, the higher your intelligence is, the easier it gets to hack computers. However, it caps at 10. So with the 25 that we already have, we don't actually need the Berry Mentats. Save that for when you're going to turn in a quest with a lot of XP. So I went and tracked down a master level computer. Let me show you guys how this works. Now you see how there's only a few words here. Normally you see a lot more words, but in this time there's only 6. And that is because I have an intelligence above 10. The higher your intelligence, the fewer number of options you have. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those are my only options. I have 6 possible words, but we can actually narrow that down by doing this. You see how it highlights all 3 of these symbols? This removes false options. You'll also get random try resets, but you don't need to worry about that because there's only 4 left and you've got 4 attempts. So right now I could stop, but we can keep going. We can remove another one. We can remove another one. I wonder if there's any more. Here we go. One more. And you see how I've now eliminated every option except for this one.
That's it.
Got it. See? All right, well, checking our leaderboard, I'm remembering now that we had to adjust strength because we removed the legendary helmet because that's not a thing that can actually spawn in the game. So we had to adjust it down to 79. So actually, intelligence is our new winner at 82. Of course, it's a one-time thing, but honestly, you really only need it the one time. Also, there is an upgrade that you can put, I don't know if it's the torso or the helmet, but there's an upgrade you can put on power armor that gives you a +2 to intelligence called a database. All right, so there you have it. That is intelligence. I have to admit, I was kind of surprised. I did not think I was going to get up that high. Of course, I didn't know the hubologists were so broken. I did come across a mod, if you're interested, that extends the duration. It's still temporary, but the duration is so absurdly long that it's functionally permanent, because you're never going to play long enough for them to wear off. So if you want to walk around with like a 60 intelligence, with that mod, it's doable. Next time, we are going to be looking at agility. In the meantime, thanks for checking out my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.